Welcome to part 2 of the story videos of the songs of my EP, Starts With Your Love. This is all about track 2, which is Heavenly Places. And if you haven't already, I'd encourage you to check out the song and also check out the story video of track number 1 if you haven't listened to that already as well. So what is Heavenly Places all about? Where does it come from? And what was the inspiration behind the song?
When my heart was like stone and my eyes were closed till you came.
So when I was growing up, as a teenager, and I started to follow Jesus, I really loved reading stories of transformation, of people's lives that were radically changed by Jesus. And hearing about people who were healed, hearing about people who were, had dark pasts, and suddenly the light had come in and they were completely radically changed. And I found that so inspiring. And yet my story was so different because I'd grown up kind of believing in God, but I gave my life to Jesus at quite a young age. And so I didn't really have a dark past, although I did see quite a difference when I did give my life to Him. And I knew God in a personal way, which was very different. But most of my struggles and most of my challenges and sins have actually been after giving my life to Jesus throughout my teen years and 20s. As you can imagine, the song is about the times when Jesus has stepped in and brought healing and restoration where I've needed it, transformation.
Walking into the night and you came. Though a world full of hate could put nails in her mate.
Some of the issues that I've had, I've had struggles in the area of relationships, going down roads that really didn't lead anywhere. One of the other things I struggled with over the years has been addictive, sinful patterns. And if any of you have been in that situation, you know that it makes you feel like a slave because it keeps you in that place. You can't get out of it just by your own willpower alone. You need something stronger to break free from that. So, for me, it was a process. It wasn't a sudden, experience of God and an experience of freedom. It was a process and many defining moments. One of the key revelations that changed a lot for me was from the book of Ephesians. It says, we are seated with Christ in the heavenly places. And what does that mean? Because Christ went to the lowest place, He went to the cross. And on the cross, He took all of the ugliness, all of the sinful patterns, all of the addiction, all of our shame and our pain and everything. And He took it on Himself, and He overcame it, and He rose to the highest place, which is seated at the right hand of the Father. But it says that we're seated with Him. We're seated with Him in the heavenly places, not in the future, but now. Our spirit is united with Him. And that's a reality that you can experience if you know Christ, if you've given your life to Him. You know that you are seated with Him, and that doesn't matter what your circumstance is. It doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter even if you screw up again tomorrow. You know that you're seated with Him in the heavenly places. And for me, it was so important to get that because I wasn't a slave anymore. I was a son. I wasn't just hanging on the edge, but I was seated in a new place, seated with Christ in the heavenly places, seated with Him at the top in a place of victory, in a new position with a new identity.
Now we're seated with You, in heavenly places.
Heavenly Places is also about worship, because being seated with Him means intimacy. It means my spirit is united with His. It means that I have a new place, and it's not just on my own, trying to battle these things myself, but it's with Him, it's with Christ. For me, it's been a process. Heavenly Places wasn't written when everything was sorted out. Heavenly Places was written when I could look back and see how much God had done in my life and how much ground that He'd taken, but also I knew there was still more to go. And so Heavenly Places is both a celebration of God's breakthrough of the past and also a declaration of faith for the future.
In the the splendor of your light.
I hope you've enjoyed this video and found the insights of the song a blessing to you. If you haven't listened to it yet, please do check it out. It's on all the major platforms. It'd be great if you could share it and get it out there. I'd love for more people to hear the song. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video.